have a dialogue like this all across America. Just talk to each other. When we go back to Washington, make sure we talk to each other. Why do we have to be at this level? We don't have to be that way. The people want to have these gotcha questions. What does that get you? Okay? You want to make me look bad? Yeah, you can do that. I'm here because I just want to have a dialogue. I'm going to tell you what the information I'm trying to share it with you, and then you share it with me. And I'll take it back. We've got our staff here because I want them to hear. We want to represent you, and I'm honored to be able to have that opportunity. Next question.
I'm going to read all three of these together, if you will, Congressman. They are all pretty much the same question, and I want everybody to know that their question has been answered. What are some specific jobs that you plan to bring to the 1st District in the near future? What are some jobs that you have already brought to West Virginia since you have been in office? And please be specific. And what can you do about jobs and helping out with the economy? Are you willing to raise taxes to do away with the debt? Will you support infrastructure improvements to create jobs and make our country better for the next generation?
I don't have that kind of memory to remember all those questions.
Well, we'll start with first. What are some jobs that you brought to West Virginia, and what are some that you're working on?
I think what we're trying to do is create some confidence in the minds of our employers that they're not going to be faced with higher taxes tomorrow. That we're going to do a balanced approach of reducing the spending over a period of time. I think it's also going to involve closing some loopholes. It won't make up a big amount, but it's symbolic that it's wrong. Our tax code is broken. We know that. Do we have the right solution? We're going to get one swing at the bat, or the ball. Whether it's going to be a flat tax, a multi-rated tax, I don't know what it's going to be. But we're going to try to improve it so that it eliminates the uncertainty. I want to do something what we're dealing with right now. We're trying to put something together on jobs because it's not going to happen overnight. We didn't lose these jobs overnight. I want to do something where the fact that all that money is overseas. There are hundreds of billions of dollars and our corporations are overseas. We've got to bring it back. One of the things that is keeping them from doing it is our corporate tax rate in this country. I don't know whether you're aware of it or not, but we have the highest tax rate in the world at 35%. Now just think about it. Just common sense. If you're Intel and you can make your computer chips in Ireland and you pay 15% corporate net, and it's done by machines, it's not individuals making it, or you can make it in America and you pay 35%, and using the same machine, where would you make them? Intel decided to make them there. I want to find a way to get Intel and others to come home, to make those things back in America again, to restore our manufacturing base, but lower our corporate net at 35%. You lower it to the average of the industrialized nation is 25%. Just get back to the average of the industrialized nation. We don't have to go back to Ireland. Just get it back. Once we get that level, I think we have a fighting chance. So what we've been doing with a variety of bills, added the uncertainty. But folks, as an employer, it's all the things that are affecting you. It's not a job bill. Often we hear on the floor, people go to the well and they get that microphone and they say, where are the jobs bills? Because they've never created a job. They don't understand. It's not a job. The only jobs bill that you're going to see in that respect could very well be a government job. What we're trying to do is keep, and we've got a slide someplace of the jobs. There, right there. There's the jobs bill. The jobs bill is affected by all of these components. You get that under control. The health care. Too many people are saying it's too expensive. They're dropping out. They're dropping their insurance because they're saying, we're going to run it by the government because we can't afford to do it. The regulations. Folks, let me give you an example on that as we keep that slide up, just to show you what I'm trying to do right now that's just absolutely crucial to the state of West Virginia. It's called fly ash. It may take a minute here to get through this, but I'm not going to ask for a show of hands about fly ash. But fly ash is an unavoidable byproduct of burning coal. Just like if you throw a log on your fireplace, you get an ash. And you take it out and you dispose of it some way. Well, the same thing when you burn coal, you get an ash. And just like the gentleman said here, over the years, and back in the 70s, they did a clean air. Because it used to be that fly ash went up the chimney and it came down. That's what he's talking about. And it get a haze over Weirton and over the states. So what they did, the Clean Air Act was passed, and they stopped it. They captured it. That's why you see at the powerhouses these great big facilities that are precipitators and bag houses. They collect that fly ash. So it doesn't no longer going up in the air, but they collect it. Then the issue came up, what do we do with it? Now that we got 140 million tons of it every year created. And some entrepreneurs came up with ways of handling the fly ash. And over the year, and they use it in concrete. They mix it in concrete block. They use it in bricks. They use it in ceramic tile. They use it in drywall. They probably here in this building, there's some fly ash in it. It's used in ceramic, or excuse me, in vinyl. It's used in toothpaste. It's used in cosmetics. But people have been concerned about it, and rightly so. So the EPA over the years has studied the product to find out, is it okay? Is it a hazardous material or not? And in 1993, and followed by the year 2000, the EPA, under Bill Clinton, said it's not a hazardous material. And we can continue to use it in some form. It's used in the Midwest as a fertilizer. They studied it. They say it's not a hazardous material. Now, fast forward to today. Under the Obama administration, under Lisa Jackson, they are considering putting aside all the studies and treating it as a hazardous material. Now, I don't think there's a person in this room, if it's treated as a hazardous material, that you'll want it in your toothpaste. You're not going to want it in your concrete. You're not going to want it to have in your children and in your drywall in your house. You're not going to want to use it as fertilizer. It will stop. Okay? Now, we're still waiting. If there's, we've got a bill, and I'm the original sponsor of this particular piece of legislation because this man in the industry represents in West Virginia. 50% of the revenue of West Virginia comes from mining coal. 50%. Let me give you an example. During the testimony about fly ash, well, actually it was another bill, a lady from Purdue University came in and testified that they were going to replace a coal-fired boiler on their campus with a high-efficiency boiler. Good. Then they found out what the EPA was threatening to do was to make it a high-hazard material. Hazardous waste. They called in consultants, found out what the cost would be to handle a hazardous material, canceled the project, and are switching to gas. Coal won't have use on that facility, that plant any longer. So I asked her, just for the record, how much does it cost for you to handle your fly ash now? She said $300,000 a year. What did your report say that it was going to cost? $25 million. So when you think of all the powerhouses that we have in West Virginia and across the country, folks, they're in 48 of the 50 states that we're creating fly ash every day because we're burning coal. What are they going to do with it? How many of them are going to build a new powerhouse? What are they going to stop using coal and they're going to switch to gas? And if they do that, this industry and the West Virginia are going to suffer tremendously because we will lose the income from that when there's no justification to their cause. The EPA itself. When the EPA, I agree with them, I'll stand with them. When I disagree with them, I'm going to disagree. But in this case, I'm standing with the EPA. They say it's not a hazardous material.
Have there been studies to show
I'm sorry?
one way or the other?
Yeah, there are two studies. There is you can get it on the congressional record. There's a study done in 1993 and then a subsequent study done in the year 2000, done by the EPA. Both of them said it's not a hazardous material. And even under this administration, I'm going to disagree with the president on this. But his own, he's got a very, I'll tell you right now, it's divided. I don't have the records in front of me, but he's opposed by the Department of Transportation. He's opposed by the Department of Interior. He's opposed by the Tennessee Valley Authority. He's opposed by a whole host of groups that said it's not a hazardous material.
Well, there's a section in Pleasant County
I'm
that's
sorry?
filled up with it.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody's ever had any problems with it.
What we're doing with it, and I like this thing, because we've had some very good dialogue with both sides of the aisle on this. What we're doing is we're going to strengthen the how you dispose of the flash, because we're only recycling about 40% of it. But the other 60%, it's going to a landfill. Okay, so what we have to do is we're not going to allow it to go in the old landfills. You're going to be put it in single or double line landfills so that you can't have that contaminant if it does get to be a contaminant. We're going to do it. So we up the level of professionalism how we're going to treat this product. Is there another? Yeah.
Congressman McKinley, I have been given the indication that we are really going to thank you for coming to Clarksburg and opening lines of communication. I can tell you that as an elected official myself, there's nothing more important than the knowledge from the people. And I believe that you have been able to learn much tonight from the people in this audience, as well as the audience learning much from you tonight.
How about the
We
rest
want-
of the questions?
The time is there a specific one? Is there a specific one that you would like for me? There was only a couple, 3 of left. If they want to put your name on the question, that he'll be glad to get in contact with
I'll
you.
answer. Let's just get together right after.
Okay.
I'll stick around for a few minutes. Then I'm going to head
We
back.